Okay, so I think it's wise to continue on with that last thought. I noticed for myself later on in life, I noticed later on in life that a lot of these things that occur behind closed doors, a lot of these things that occur in the hearts of different people, it's not common knowledge, although it can be commonly experienced by one person. And when I noticed that, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, this adds a lot of context. It actually makes the pieces in the puzzle come together, and it adds like a fuller picture. And and with that, with the fullness of the picture, and when I'm speaking about it from a contextual perspective, what I mean is there's a lot of things that when you have one person and they're viewing it from their perspective, and then you have another person and they're viewing it from their perspective, and then you see this divide between the two of them, and and then you note, or I've noted, where there's often a lot of conflict and a lot of tension that exists when two people are trying to communicate and there's this divide. However, if there's things that are occurring behind the scenes that are impacting one person, but the other person's not aware of it, that means that there's manipulation that is going on. Or if there's things that are occurring in your heart that you, at that moment in time, are not able to identify, and because you're not able to identify it, it's still there, but you're going to carry on with your emotional state, or with your thoughts, and with your feelings. And then eventually, I think of like rocks beneath the ground. You can hide them, but when the fall of winter comes, those rocks get pushed up like teeth through gums, and eventually they're exposed, and then they become a stumbling block or something that you trip over. So I realized there's a lot of information that has remained obscured, that if it was published or it was talked about openly and commonly, and then both people on either side of the divide were able to see it, they'd realize that the divide is actually a lot smaller than they originally inspected or they originally thought. And so this is one of the main premises of works like this, in my mind, is to get away from the people and to focus on the root of the problems. So then you can see what is causing people to stumble, and you can see things more clearly. And there's something that I brought up. This is something I heard, I believe it was on a Facebook reel, and it was a young woman, and she was, I believe she was speaking, or somebody was speaking on her behalf, but they're talking about a child and his mother. And so I wrote this in, it's in the Drive T Convo manuscript, or gift edition, but it goes like this. I'm going to turn around here. She says, or the child is talking to the mother, and the child says, every fish, there's a pond, and every fish holds with it a feeling from an experience. However, when you talk with me, I need you to be the pond and not the fish. And I remember when I heard that, I was thinking that is extremely profound, and that is sage, like wisdom, and especially if it's coming from a young child. But that is a perfect illustration of something that's common and very deep, yet not commonly discussed, and especially not commonly discussed in a way that actively looks for the solution, as opposed to grappling against the emotions. I think of somebody who's got their walls up and they don't realize they have their walls up. And what that child is virtually saying is the walls need to come down. And then when you speak, I'll be able to hear and comprehend what you're saying.